Salvete omnes, welcome to this video lesson on Fabulae Syrae, chapter 28, section 5, the story of Alcestis, or Alcestis in English. Alcestis bona et proba uxor admeti fuit. Alcestis was a good and decent wife of Admetus. Qui eam Graeciae regionem, quae Thessalia appellatur, tam bene regebat, ut non moro incolis, verum etiam deis, et praeceteris Apollini, carissimus esset. The qui refers back to Admetus who ruled that region of Greece which is called Thessaly. Okay, so eam regionem Graeciae, that region of Greece, quae Thessalia appellatur, which is called Thessaly, who ruled that region of Greece which is called Thessaly so well, tam bene. And now the tam is a key word telling us we've got a result clause coming, and then the ut clause following is the result clause, that not only was he very dear, carissimus esset, to the inhabitants, incolis, but also, verum etiam, to the gods, deis, and before the rest of them, to Apollo. The praeceteris before the rest of them is kind of like and beyond the others in English. All right. Postquam vero Admetus, but after Admetus, ad quadragesimum aetatis annum pervenit, arrived at the 40th year of his age, or of his life, aetatis, Apollo ei in cubiculo suo versanti, mox inquit, pallida mors ad te veniet. All right. Apollo says to him, inquit ei, as he's in his bedroom. The versanti is, again, it's that verb verso, versare, that is sometimes used to indicate just being. Of course, literally the verb in a basic active sense means to turn. So to him, being in his bedroom, in cubiculo suo, he says, mox, soon, pallida mors, pallid death, veniet ad te, will come to you. All right, and the whole clause again, Apollo says to him, being in his bedroom, soon pallid death will come to you. Pallid death, quae imperabit. The quae is feminine singular, referring back to mors, death. Okay, which will order, imperabit. Ut ad inferos descendas, that you should descend to the inferi, to the people below. And inferi is literally the people below, but sometimes that is used kind of as another word for the underworld, so that you descend to the dead, meaning you descend to the underworld. Unde nemo rediet umquam, from where, unde, no one has ever returned. Magno igitur in periculo versaris, therefore you are in great danger. Petive tamen, nevertheless I have sought, aparchis, from the parcae, and the parcae we could call them the fates in English, the three goddesses. Right, I have sought from the fates, nevertheless, ut, and now this ut clause is going to be the indirect command. Right, if you seek from somebody, you're basically asking them to do a thing, telling them to do a thing. So this is an indirect command clause. I sought from the fates, nevertheless, ut, that alio homine pro te dato, with another person given in place of you, or instead of you, pro te, tot annos post hoc viveres, you would live so many years post hoc after this, quod iam vixisti, as you have already lived. Ergo, therefore, si aut pater, aut mater, aut uxor, aut amicus quidam, if either your father or your mother or your wife or some friend, prote more volet, is willing to die for you in place of you, prote, tu mortem effugies, you will escape death. Atque inter vivos mortos ad hoc annos manere poteris, and you will be able, atque poteris, to remain among the living, manere inter vivos, for many years yet, multos ad hoc annos. Ergo, cura, therefore take care, ut invenias aliquem, that you should find someone. Now this ut clause is what's called a noun clause of result or a substantive clause of result. If you take care, you get this after cura or fac or effice, these verbs to take care or make a thing happen. All right, so take care that you find someone, ut invenias aliquem, qui protesit ad moriendum paratus, who would be prepared to die ad moriendum, that's a gerund phrase, for you, or in place of you, prote. Ne Thessali rege suo careant, so that the Thessalians would not lack their king. All right, that's a purpose clause. That ne clause is a clause of purpose. Ut tempestates mare tranquillum turbare solent, as storms are accustomed to disturb the tranquil sea, ita verba Apollonis, so the words of Apollo, animum admeti turbaverunt, disturbed the mind of Admetus. That's a nice simile. Pater but the father, cubiculum ingressus, having entered the bedroom, filium colorem mutavisse anam advertit, noticed his son had changed his color, as to say he maybe grew pale or something. Et quid pales, fili? And he says, why are you pale, son? Inquit, there's the he says, uterum agrotas an terituses. Are you sick, utrum agrotas, or are you frightened, an terituses? Filus autem id, quod Apollo dixerat, patri naravit. The son, however, told his father that thing, id, which Apollo had said, quod Apollo dixerat. Eumque regavit, and he asked him, ut prose ad illud regnum descinderet, that he should descend to that kingdom, of course meaning the kingdom of the underworld, for him, prose. Ubi umbrae mortuorum versari dicuntur. And this is in reference to the kingdom where, ubi, the shades of the dead are said to be. Now notice again, versari here is being used as a synonym for esse. At pater, but the father, manum extendens, extending a hand, ac filium manum apprehendens, and holding his son's hand, multis cum lacrimis quis inquit tam fortis es, he says, inquit, with many tears, multis cum lacrimis, who is so brave, quis tam fortis est, and then now we're going to get a result clause, so brave, ut ipse morte sine metu accurat. He himself, without fear, sine metu, would meet death. Quamquam enim te mortum diligo, fili mei, for although I love you much, my son, nescio quid faciam, I don't know what I should do. Nam timor mortis animum meum vincit, for fear of death is conquering my soul. That is to say, he can't overcome his fear. Admetus a patre tam mairens discacit. Admetus, so grieving, tam mairens, departed from his father, discacit a patre, grieving, or he departed from his father, grieving in such a way, we might say. And now we're going to get a result clause. ut prae animi dolori loqui non posset, that he was not able to speak, non posset loqui, due to, we would say, the pain of his mind. That is to say, he's emotionally distraught. Ad matrem ignitur accesit, therefore he approached his mother, went up to his mother, cui persuadere conatus est, whom he tried to persuade. Conatus est is a two-word deponent form, so it sounds active, though it looks passive. Whom he tried to persuade. And I should also note, cui is a dative because persuadere takes a dative for the person you persuade. So whom he tried to persuade, ut pro se moraretur, that she should die for him. O mater inquit, he says, O mother, saepe dixisti, you have often said, te deus deasque omnes, or avise, that you have begged or prayed to all the gods and goddesses, ut mihi longissimam beatamque vitam darent, that they give me the longest and a blessed life. Nunc autem vide, but now see. Nisi quis pro me ad imperos discindat, unless someone, now here the quis is in place of aliquis, after si, nisi, numine, all the alis fall away. In other words, aliquis and aliquid, which means someone, something, you will get quis and quid instead after si, nisi, num, and ne. So here, just translate quis not as who, but as someone. So, unless someone should descend for me, pro me, to the people below, ad inferos, or to the land below, the underworld, brevi, in a short time, or soon, atra mors me rapiet, dark death will snatch me away. Neque umquam ad vivos redibo, nor will I ever return to the living. Adiua me, si me amas, help me if you love me. Materatem, the mother, however, et si valde dolebat, even if she grieved very much, quod tantum periculum filio impendebat, because so great a danger was impending for her son, mortem pro eo adire non audebat. She did not dare, audebat, non audebat, to approach death, to meet death, adire mortem, for him, pro eo. Inferosanim ita temebat, for she so feared the dead, or the underworld, ut deiis cogitans toto corpore tremeret, that thinking about them, or about it, if you take that as the underworld, she trembled toto corpore, on her whole body, or in her whole body. All right, well, that completes our first section. We will look at the second page in another video lesson. Valete!